Tony Granger. Just a little bit about Tony Granger. Tony, in his CV, he starts by saying, I started in advertising as a junior art director at Gray Phillips. Some of you don't even know who Gray Phillips was. It's what has now become Gray South Africa. But for my sins and for me, who was very fortunate, I had the opportunity to work with Tony Granger at what was Handler Staros TVWA back in the 80s. Tony, please come to the podium.
Hi guys, how's it going? Bit of an early start, right? Well, first of all, I must say I haven't been to Cape Town for about 15 years. Right? I came back to Johannesburg a lot. Cape Town is absolutely amazing. It has to be one of the best cities on the planet, bar none. You guys are very lucky to live here. So, and I'm very happy to be back. So, okay, so when you look back at the last 10 years, think of how many massively successful companies have been started. LinkedIn, 2003, Facebook, 2004. Then came YouTube, Twitter, Hulu, 2010, Instagram, Pinterest, and last year Spotify. These companies have completely changed the way that we communicate, we socialize, and we share information. LinkedIn has 175 million members, 5.3 billion searches so far this year. All the Fortune 500 companies use them, and 27% of visitors access LinkedIn on a mobile device. Facebook, 900 million active users. 50% of all users log on every day. And 350 million users use the mobile device to connect. Twitter, 100 million users, 250 million tweets a day, 50 million people log on each day, and 55% buy a mobile device. And Instagram, a company that's only 2 years old, has 80 million users, 4 billion photographs uploaded at a rate of 5 million a day. It has 575 likes and 81 comments per second. These numbers attached to these companies are staggering, and the thing is that they're growing every single second. Technology is constantly creating new ways for us to interact with each other, but really what it's done is created a whole new generation. We like to call this Generation World. Generation World isn't like all the other demographic segments we used to attach to people. First, it's ageless. Think of it, a 75-year-old and a 5-year-old use the iPad for exactly the same thing, in exactly the same way. This generation has friends around the planet, and they share thoughts and opinions instantly. But despite this global view, they're fiercely local. As much as they love connecting with each other around the planet, as much as they love to see each other as global citizens, their identities are local, unabashedly local. They define themselves by their neighborhoods, they're proud of their flags, their roots and their culture. Generation World has information at its fingertips. It's the most plugged in, smart, informed, resourceful, sophisticated, cynical, optimistic, entrepreneurial, savvy, opinionated, and passionate generation that has ever existed. They believe in transparency, and they devour information. You're not going to reach them by preaching. You have to connect with them, and then you have to listen and respond by optimizing the message. The first video I'm going to show you was created by our VMO agency in Kansas City, and it's for our client Gatorade. It's called Mission Control. real people. And more people are turning to mobile as the organizing principle in their lives. Mobile is connecting people to each other, but also important for us is connecting them to their brands. Around the world, mobile is becoming the first point of entry. 38% of all media interactions occur on smartphones. 60% of them at home. In South Africa, 63% check their phones at least once every 30 minutes. 61% browse the internet on a mobile a few times a week, versus 27% 5 years ago. And rather disturbingly, 43% use their devices while driving. But what is mobile doing for people? Well, for one thing, it's giving them efficiency and convenience. We created this film for Hotels.com to show just how efficient and convenient their mobile service is.
We're heading to Lake Tahoe. To be last minute on the book. That hotel in freestyle. Landing was a bit of a doozy.
Mobile gives you instant information wherever you are. The next video is for our client Sears for their craftsman tools and demonstrates mobile's instant accessibility and unlimited information. It's called Screwed.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. A word from Craftsman, sponsors of Screwed, the real-time interactive reality show that encourages you to give an unhandy guy named Alan tips to get him through a series of challenges alive. Now, a couple of days ago, Alan was sitting innocently in his apartment in his pajamas. Two men blindfolded him and dropped him off in the middle of the desert. Alan survived thanks to the advice he got via Twitter and Facebook. Hello, Alan. Don't show that.
This was me. Before, and still, Craftsman picked me to be the star of the first live interactive reality series, Screwed. It all started when Craftsman wanted to engage their existing social media fan base, and at the same time, attract a new, younger generation of followers. So the clowns over at the ad agency thought they'd make the first live interactive show and drop me in the middle of nowhere with just an earpiece and a set of Craftsman tools. The only hope I had to get out alive was the online community of hardcore tool guys who gave me their advice via Twitter, Facebook, and live streaming. Oh, did I mention everything took place live in real time?
Go live, go live, go live.
First, they dragged me to the middle of the Louisiana bayou.
Oh, there goes my compass into the water.
Then, they decided to dump me in the desert.
I don't think I get cabin fever.
Before abandoning me in the Sierra Nevadas.
It's really cold.
I never thought I would make it out alive, but step by step, the online tool guys came to my rescue.
All you guys helped me a lot. I couldn't have done it without you.
After it was all over, I found out the audience had been given clues and information I never knew about. Blueprints, building instructions, maps where my supplies were hidden. So when I cried out for help, someone could tweet the correct advice to me.
Please just tell me.
And luckily, they did. Overall, 30,000 strangers tuned in live and saved me from myself. Without them, well, I would still be screwed. In just 3 months, my torture was viewed over 4.5 million times. Craftsman's Facebook fans more than doubled, and there were over 94 million national media impressions. But maybe the biggest measure of success isn't a number, it's me.
Master Electrician!
Because thanks to Craftsman, I can say I'm not so screwed anymore. Well, sort of.
So, mobile also lets us share and mobilize a community with information in real time. Here's something we did for our Telefonica clients in Bogota to help solve the problem they have there with child labor.
Mi nombre es Alexander Hidalgo, tengo 11 años. Yo trabajo en construcción. Toca vender gelatinas hasta que acabáramos todas. No me gustaba el trabajo porque era muy cochino recoger cosas de la basura y recoger y que nos vinieran chatarras por los cachos. Un futbolista y astronauta.
And mobile is, of course, a source of entertainment. It's able to captivate and engage an audience, even when they're contemplating something as serious as joining the military. Here's an app we created for the recruitment drive for the Australian Air Force.
Deciding to join the Air Force takes careful consideration. Traditional advertising could only engage our young, easily distracted audience for a short time. So we created the Paper Baron, an addictive paper playing game like no other. The entire game was made out of paper, not pixels, and ultimately it was this paper aesthetic that dictated how the game was played. A cloud, for instance, was a ball of paper that couldn't be flown through. And if your plane caught fire, well, that wasn't so bad after all. The paper landscape was tailored with iconic buildings to match the city you were playing in, and the game was further personalised by creating local competitions called airstrips. Once created, only players standing in that area could compete against one another. Distances were marked on Google Maps to show how far in reality your plane was thrown. The person with the longest distance became the Baron of that airstrip, a title that's crazily sought after as becoming the mayor of the local cafe on Foursquare.
My name is Willie Bradwell, and I'm the Baron of my office.
Hi, I'm Asma.
I'm the gamer, and I'm the Baron of this bookstore.
Gizmodo.com named Paper Baron the app of the day, helping it reach the top 25 games on iTunes with a 4.5-star rating. Since then, our little paper planes have logged over 25,000 hours with our target market, resulting in a 17% increase in clicks through to the Defence Jobs website.
And of course, mobile is a huge retail channel. Here's a virtual pop-up store we designed for Airwalk.
This is an Airwalk store. And so is this. They are the world's first invisible pop-up stores. Stores that can be set up anywhere, at any time. Simply by using smartphones, geolocation, and augmented reality. we created them for the limited edition relaunch of the Airwalk Gym, a sneaker originally made for kids who hang out in skate parks or on the beach instead of going to gym class. So that's where we set up the stores. They went live for one day. To get the gym, people had to be in the right location. So they downloaded the app, found the store, found the shoe, and bought it. It got a lot of buzz. And Airwalk's e-store had their busiest weekend ever.
Tell me what augmented reality shopping is and why that's going to be a big deal this year.
Augmented reality is pretty rad. It's when you overlay the digital world onto the real world, usually by holding up your phone or your tablet to the air. So for example, in New York City, we've got an invisible store where if you're in the right location and you put your phone up, you can see a whole Airwalk store.
An exclusive product sold to an exclusive audience for an entirely new retail experience.
They're a cool style, and I'm glad they're back, and I'm going to get a pair today.
The Invisible Pop-Up Store. Watch out for the next one, invisibly appearing near you.
So here's the opportunity. Let's stop seeing mobile as simply a device and a delivery system. And let's start seeing mobile as the way you live. The fact is that mobile allows consumers to drive the experience, sometimes quite literally. Here's an interaction our Icon Mobile agency created for Audi e-bike. It allows the rider to actually program the stunts he wants the bike to perform. The mobile phone, the bike, the rider, they're all seamlessly connected to create the experience. Bridge the real world to the physical. There was a time that we thought that all people would do was sit in front of their screens at home. Well, the reality is quite different. People love shopping for ebooks and love reading them on tablets. But if you walk through a bookstore in New York, the crowd's still there, reading magazines in the in-store cafe, flipping through the copies, sitting in the chairs and the couches reading. So with everything becoming more and more digital, what people really want is the ability to connect their digital lives with the real world, and that's what mobility is all about. The next film does exactly that, and there's an experience we've created for ASICS.
Running a marathon is one of the most challenging things people will ever do. It's the ultimate test of physical endurance, set over 42 grueling kilometres. The Gold Coast Marathon was the perfect opportunity to engage and connect runners with the one thing that could help them make it to the finish: their supporters. So we created Run With Me, for runners to connect with their friends, family and support network in real time. This is how it worked. Friends and family would leave messages of support for runners online and at the event. These personalised messages would be stored in the cloud and triggered by runners wearing unique timing chips as they passed out video checkpoints. The supported messages were then queued based on position, relative distance and content time, before being pushed to giant LED video screens as runners passed. The Run With Me website was split in two, with runners connecting their Facebook accounts to leave custom status updates ready to be released during the race as they crossed each checkpoint on the course, while supporters would log on to leave inspirational messages to help get their loved ones across the line. We also set up video booths where supporters could record their own videos.
Come on, girls, we can do something.
Whatever you do, don't doubt yourself. It might be hurting now, but the rewards at the end will be all worth it.
Quick, Cassie, come on, mate, you can do it. Come on, quick, Cassie, come on, mate, you can do it.
Over 35% of runners had a message of support left for them, with each runner receiving 4 messages on average, while almost 15% connected their runs to Facebook, resulting in thousands of status updates live from inside the race, which led to tens of thousands of comments from friends and family around the world. But the most important result was how the ASICS Run With Me campaign connected runners with their friends and family in real time.
The message is great, sort of kept me going and then really filled with on.
Go Lofty.
Gets you hype all the time. Fantastic idea. And I finished!
Mobile not only interacts with other media, it actually helps transform them. Here's a mobile experience we created for the Australian Defence Force. This, by the way, on full gold and a silver line cameras.
We created medically diagnosable advertising that turned the advertising into the entrance exam. Introducing Mobile Medic. Mobile Medic was an integrated campaign that allowed students to use a range of diagnostic techniques to identify and treat real medical conditions using their smartphones. Each ad presented a patient with a different medical emergency that required the use of unique tools to establish a diagnosis. Students solved increasingly difficult medical challenges in an effort to be rewarded with a defence scholarship.
Nauseous and diabetic smoker, pain began whilst with equipment and eyes shortness of breath.
At the end of the day, mobility is creating a completely seamless and immersive lifestyle. Here's how one company sees the not-so-distant future. is not that far away at all. In fact, that technology exists. It's filled with huge opportunities. It truly is the edge of imagination. And if you can dream something, you can absolutely make it happen. The technology is there. And the consumer desire is there. What an extraordinary time to be in the business of ideas. Thank you very much.